Displeased Beach.
は
我々はヌーディストビーチだ。
気が確かか。
我々の組織の名だ。ヌーディストビーチ。
There you go. You wanted it. You wanted it. You got it.
Oh gosh. What to do?
Will this find its way onto the internet? No one will ever know. Unless they do know. I mean, it's up to me. The fate of this.
What's that, Jordan Senpai? You're doing anime now.
We can't just jump into the deep end like that.
Why not?
Let's be more subtle about it.
Okay.
Here's my idea of subtlety. Maybe we should address the elephant in the room that is wearing a kimochi dress. Is that even a thing? Kimochi dress? I don't know. And has katana for tusks.
Is it Kitana or Katana?
Katanas.
All I'm thinking about is like Kitana from Mortal Kombat as tusks.
Well, katana wielding katanas as tusks.
Well, this is an elephant.
And has a pair of sunglasses.
Right?
Has a pair of sunglasses that transform into a mech.
That's good enough for me.
And in case you didn't notice, this podcast has had a bit of a makeover.
Oh boy.
A bit of a shakeover. That's not to say that comics are getting the shaft, the boot.
Welcome to the Downright
BAKA.
Inhuman podcast.
Oh, there's that. You take care of the one part, and I take care of the other part.
Yeah, I was trying to, we'll get there.
Improv.
One day.
Can you tell this is unscripted? Because I can't.
Oh boy.
As I read from the script to say that joke.
If only we had a script to read from. Okay. So, without further ado, let's get a thing. News. What's in the news to do with the comics?
You asking me or you asking the audience?
I'm asking you, you idiot.
Wait, you didn't say my name.
What do you think I'm asking? Blah, blah, blah. You know what's in the news. Tell us what's in the news.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
I know that DC are the worst.
Why do you see the worst?
DC are the worst because they've messed up their comic release dates, right?
Okay.
And Forever Evil, the thing that never wants to end. When they say forever, they mean forever, okay? Forever Evil is forever now.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happened is there's this weird jarring release date whole shtick with DC now where issues of comic lines that the issues are sort of an aftermath of Forever Evil and they're coming out before Forever Evil has ended. So we're getting epilogue issues of Forever Evil, but Forever Evil issue 7, the final issue, has yet to come out because it got delayed. So what we have here is a story that is very fragmented and all over the place. Who knows, maybe these issues that tie into Forever Evil as an aftermath issue don't actually, go into too much detail on what happens at the end, but if they do, you've kind of dropped the ball on that one.
So to recap, what was the kind of plot of Forever Evil?
Crime Syndicate of Earth 3 comes to Earth Prime, Prime Earth, New Earth, whatever DC's calling it these days, who knows, changes every day of the week, I think. Yeah. And they take over the Earth, because the Justice League was fighting among themselves due to Trinity of Sin, which was happening.
Yeah.
Or the Trinity War, which was the big crossover event before Forever Evil, and then they're trying to prepare this Earth for whatever destroyed Earth 3 in that reality, which we still don't know yet, and yeah, pretty much it gives a chance for the villains of the main Earth to be the heroes of sorts, and they are sort of the stars because the Justice League are out of commission for the entire series, except Batman. Batman's fine, and Cyborg gets better after time, but all the other guys, anyone who can actually pose a threat, was taken care of, so to speak. But yeah, it Forever Evil, forever. That is
Okay.
that is DC's mantra now.
I don't know much on the current Marvel comic line. I did read. I bought comics for the train the other day, and I know like the whole essential, like bigger volumes we get over here in the UK are a couple of months or years really. They've sped it up a bit, so it's like only a year behind America now. But the one I read was to do with Brother Voodoo, Brother Voodoo's brother, who's apparently called Brother Voodoo as well. I don't really know what that anyway.
Brother Voodoo.
Brother of like Nathaniel Drum, I think it was, like, is in the astral plane, he comes back or something, and like tries to get revenge on the Avengers, blah blah blah. And Doctor Strange is like trying to stop him or figuring out ways to stop him, but because he's on the astral plane, he can take over the body of anybody. And then at like the end of this issue, because Maria Hill is called in like the Avengers to deal with some like figure out what's happening, and Doctor Strange is like, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Don't let him get near Thor, Wolverine, blah blah blah. And then the Avengers arrive, and Maria Hill's like, change the plan, go away, and then the issue ended.
Exciting stuff.
That, yeah, it was alright. I like anything to do with Doctor Strange is great. They had a bit of a thing with Luke Cage. He like was trying to leave the Avengers. I think he and oh, what's her name? His wife. I don't know.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. That's it. Her and the baby and him escaped through this little secret tunnel. Because all the other Avengers were like, it's okay, you've got a baby, you should get out, you were going to leave, like, anyway. So they're, like, run off. I think Daredevil was there as well. Daredevil Thing. Yeah, it's pretty weird Avengers lineup, but anyway. That was Luke Cage's Avengers. No more Luke Cage's Avengers. I know absolutely nothing about the current Marvel story arcs. No, they haven't a particularly big one yet.
What's it called? Original Sin started today, which is the whole "Who shot the Watcher?"
Oh, finally, like.
It was Wolverine with the glove
in
the Avengers match in Jacuzzi.
So, as they're finally carrying on from that whole Dead on the Moon thing.
Well, that was Living Tribunal, and no, that's still not been
Oh,
addressed.
sorry, yeah, oh, okay.
That's still not been addressed ever since, and it's really bugging me.
Yeah, well...
They're probably just, even the writers have probably forgotten about it at this point. It's like, yep, we drew that because it seemed cool at the time, and we've forgotten about it. No. It's the worst. New Avengers, I've kind of losing interest because it's like calm before the storm, except this calm is lasting an extremely long time.
Yeah.
Ever since Infinity ended, there hasn't been a lot of action in New Avengers. It's pretty much just, hey guys, let's look at alternate Earths get absolutely destroyed by different races that are tied in with the incursions, and learn about them and do absolutely nothing else. So the main 616 Illuminati haven't actually really got up to much since Infinity, which is a shame, but seems to be heading to a clash with an Earth that's managed to fight off all of the invaders from an incursion and prevent any incursion from happening, and it turns out that they'll be the next Earth to incur with Earth 616, and basically what it is, it's like a parody of the Justice League. And they got a fake Superman, a fake Batman, a fake Dr. Fate, even.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so that could be good, but they're still building up to that right now, but it's just been a lot of talking. Well, I suppose New Avengers is about a lot of talking at this point.
Yeah.
Too much talking.
Well.
All talking. And then seeing characters on alternate Earths die who we don't care about because it's pretty much the only issue they'll ever appear in, because it's like, oh, Earth 49021. It's like, yeah, this Earth's never going to get brought up again. It was here in this one panel just to get killed off, and that's it.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm holding on.
My mic's getting reverb, by the way. I can hear it on your thingy. You can probably edit this out, but you know. I can hear a but, and it's like, whack. Okay, that's better now.
Okay.
Ah! Well, we can edit that out.
No, we're not. This is
Oh.
a good podcast.
Raw uncut. Um,
Uncanny Avengers.
oh, I guess so.
It's the only thing you can talk to me about because
I've only
you're.
read up to issue 10.
I know, and you've not get up to any of the good stuff yet, but we can talk
Exactly.
about
Well, I
premise.
I mean, the Red Skull bit at the beginning is like largely irrelevant.
Much like the Red Skull himself.
It seems, because it's like, oh, it could be this future storyline. I can't remember it that well, and then that just didn't happen. And I'm like, well, alright then.
And then Age of Ultron. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it was okay. I kind of look forward to reading the rest of it, I guess.
Really need to, because boy, does it pick up towards those later issues. Just crazy. Craziness.
Well, that's literally all we can cover on the Comic Prime. It's like new-ish stuff. So skip into like other media to do with comic beat. That Avengers movie, new Age of Ultron, thing-a-doo-boo. You showed me some screenshots and like concept art of the movie. It's looking okay. So
Ultron's looking tip-top.
I don't really know what's up with that. We'll perhaps put a link in the description or something like that to link you to the page where these are at. Leaving that for a little bit, starting with the concept art. The concept art is quite nice. Got like Scarlet Witch being all witchy and chaosy. I think she looks a bit more kind of gothy, maybe? Like she was in X-Men Evolution, the cartoon that was a while ago. Quicksilver literally just looks like... Actually, Quicksilver in the concept art kind of looks like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. I don't know why. And then you got like Hulkbuster Iron Man, fighting Hulk, and that's not going very well for him at all. Moving on from that, there's a giant Iron Man Hulkbuster hand on the actual set. I don't know who took the pictures, probably Snoopy Press or or people who snuck onto the set, which is
It was
photographed.
me all along. My hidden life as a journalist.
I don't quite know. I'm hoping that the like robot thing they're showing there is just like a prototype or a really roughly built thing that Ultron built, or they're gonna CG over it, because that as itself just kind of looks like a Power Rangers villain.
A Smallville design.
If I'm honest. Also, the only robotic parts on it are like the chest plate, head, and the pauldrons. Everything else just looks like a man in a duffel jacket, which I think is what they're going to CG over, because, if that's like the final Ultron face, it's alright.
Disappointing.
It's not the Ultron face that we all know and love.
How hard is it to mess up a robot's face?
I don't know.
It's like you literally, with an actor and a human character, yes, you can go wrong and be excused for it because, you can't find an actor that looks exactly like the comic book character, but it's a robot. You can make it look like it.
He looks a bit knowledgeable, and Ultron, the whole thing with Ultron was he always looked kind of intimidating and a bit crazy, and yeah. The Quicksilver design of this movie, he doesn't really look very, like, wow, look at that guy. He never really did anyway. He looks a lot better than I think the Day of Future Past Quicksilver does.
We've had history with it.
Yeah. He just kind of looks like an athlete in tracksuit things with a kind of clean-cut beard and silver hair. There we go.
I don't get why the hair in the concept art is not his colour, but it's his hairstyle, and then in the actual still shots, it's his hair color, but not his hairstyle. It's like they can't mix the two together to just get it right.
What else have we got? We've got like the Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch being all like gestury in many shots. There's tons of skyward shots for her and him as well. And just doing that stuff. Hawkeye like jumping and kicking stuff, and the guy wearing an Iron Man, like half of an Iron Man suit and like red trousers. There we go.
And Captain America hanging out on top of a car hood.
Yeah.
As he's known to do.
There we go. Meeting some people, greeting some people. Under a coat. I'm literally describing these as I go, but there we go. I like his costume. Looks
A tank.
Yeah. Kind of futuristic-y, tanky thing, and then like Rob Downey Jr. tweeted a photo. And that is
Avengers Age of Ultron.
yeah, it's Avengers Age of Ultron.
It's a ways off, so not exactly a lot to talk about at the moment.
No,
Barely know anything on the movie.
Scheduled set to release May next year.
That's a long time.
Still excited for the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's coming out
Man.
soon, I hope. I don't know when it's coming out.
Is that August? I think that's
Something like that.
definitely summertime.
I
Perfect summer.
might go and see, I'm probably not going to go and see Winter Soldier, but I will
I
watch
want
the
to.
Yeah,
we should probably address that, despite,
Marvel things. Well, I don't know anything about it. I mean, all I can say about it is that it's got very good reviews. It's, if not currently, it was the top-rated Marvel movie out of all of them to be on IMDb, which is saying something, because, like, even though Avengers wasn't the best, it was, like, the biggest blockbuster. They spammed spammed the press wagon so much on that. They were like, come and see the Avengers, it's gonna be so big!
Oh, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope it it's like gets better reviews and stuff. Beats it.
I hope it's gonna be fun, whatever happens.
Cause screw your Earth-based adventures. We're going cosmic Marvel now, son. Going to the moon and beyond.
In other news, I guess the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out.
And I don't think either of us is particularly interested.
I'm not that interested.
I don't like Spider-Man.
From a friend who's a very big Spider-Man fan, he thought it was pretty good. From another couple of people, it was mediocre. And from another person or two, it was bad. So,
This person is my future self.
I don't know what to take from it, but I probably won't be watching it. I never watched the first one either. So.
I didn't see the first one. I didn't see all of it. I lost interest very early on. Like, man, do I deserve to? Because it's like origin story again.
Yeah.
The second time this century for films we've had. Well, okay, no, technically it was not this. Yeah, this century almost. I meant to say this decade, and then was like, oh wait, no, it wasn't this decade.
Well.
It depends what time Spider-Man 1 came out. If it came out like 2002...
It was early this century, or it was late 90s, I can't remember. I think I remember saying to you, the first two Spider-Man movies were great. I liked them. Thought Tobey Maguire was fine.
What's his name? Willem Dafoe?
I love them.
Willem Dafoe.
Avenge me! And that was in the third one, though, so you know. Oh dear.
And then the third one happened.
Sorry?
And then the third one happened.
Yes, it did. And then too many villains happened.
And then X-Men 3 Curse happened. I don't know if that came
before. Yeah,
or
I don't know how that happened either.
Can't wait for the third Avengers film. It's gonna be a hit. It's just gonna be Galactus, Kang, Thanos.
It wouldn't be that. It's like the things you don't fit. It'll be like Galactus, Red Skull, and who else doesn't fit with either of those two? I don't know.
Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. Just like grouping those three together and sending them. It's like that's just terrible pairing. Then again, they are kind of geniuses, but they would all double cross one another, which is that could make for a good twist.
I don't think Galactus would care.
Yeah, but Doctor Doom would like siphon off his energy somehow, and the Red Skull would like come in with all his
He'd cut out his brain and put it
and
into
try
his
and
head.
steal it, and then but then Doctor Doom would like teleport away, and then Galactus would just like destroy the entire planet, and then the Avengers come and save everything, and that would be the end of the film.
And then the post-credit stinger is, it was
It
Squirrel
was
Girl all
actually
along.
all, I don't know, Stan Lee. I think.
It was all the Celestials.
Well, that's about it for movie news.
Well, I mean, there was that new trailer for Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you seen it?
When does it come out?
The trailer. Have you seen the trailer, man?
What do you mean the trailer?
The third trailer that came out.
There was a third one. I don't really watch all the things. I watch like the trailer, and then I go like, well, that's it.
But the first trailer was like the worst trailer, and then they got better. So that's why.
Well, this is the thing, and I always watch that one and put my verdict on that one. I never watch any of the other ones because I can't be bothered to.
There's your problem.
And partly because I never see them either. They kind of come out and nobody ever links me it. So I'm like, well, I don't know that came out. What happened to it?
Oh, past Charles was being all angsty pantsy, and Wolverine was like, then comes in like, I come from the future, and bad things are gonna happen. Sentinels were killing the mutants at first, but then they started killing everyone. You're like, okay, what? But isn't the first part still a problem?
Yeah.
It's okay, they were just killing mutants at first, but then they started killing other people. Whoa. Who sent you? You! Oh! Yeah. Okay, so not all of it was great, but it was action-packed towards the end after they spieled out all the dialogue. You know, Bishop was firing his laser rifle at Snow. Iceman was icing up walls and riding on it. I still think Iceman looks like Silver Surfer in the comics too much. I can never tell the difference between them.
So is he actually using his like ice ramps now?
Yes.
Good.
He's going to actually do something in this movie.
Yeah, he's actually gonna do stuff, and not be like.
He's gonna knock out Oblivion. Never forget.
Yeah.
You see the Nimrods. I guess it's not just one of them.
They're alright.
You also see the past Sentinels with the Dyson chests.
Yeah.
They kind of do look out of place.
I don't really know why there's more than one Nimrod. There shouldn't really be that many Nimrods. Nimrod was like a very advanced model. They didn't build that many of him, if at all, any more than one. In like the original Days of Future Past storyline, they had plenty of normal Sentinels, but they only had one or a couple Nimrods. Because he's like OP as anything. Yeah. I thought they made it really futuristic-y, designy. I think he's gonna like split into parts probably. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like.
Just hope there's not too much focus on Wolverine, because we know that Bryan Singer loves his Wolverine. Might as well call it Wolverine and the X.
Did they send Wolverine back in the past?
Yes.
Why, Bishop?
Because for some reason Bryan Singer has the biggest hard-on for Wolverine.
Wolverine does. Spoiler, if you haven't read it or watched it in the original animated series, spoiler. Wolverine dies. Wolverine gets killed by Nimrod or any other Sentinel, I don't know. He's old, alright? He's awesome, but he's old. While Forge is booting up the like, time machine, he comes in, and I can't remember the reason why, but Forge is like, no, Wolverine, Bishop must go, or whatever, or Bishop takes it, I can't remember. And Wolverine stays behind, then Bishop comes back. For some reason, he like fails, I think, or no, he goes back another time, but comes back and he's like, hey, are you guys okay? And then Wolverine's skeleton's just floating in a glass jar, and I'm like, well...
You done goofed.
Yeah,
You should have sent Cable.
That's part of it, I think. Then again, I might be thinking that it's around that storyline anyway. As well as in the future, I'm pretty sure. More spoilers: who dies? Colossus dies. Storm dies. I'm not sure if Kitty dies or not. I know Magneto does. I think. I'm not sure. He's in a wheelchair anyway at that point, I think, which is pretty ironic. Um, yeah.
Choking on the irony.
I think Colossus and Storm were like an item. I'm not sure. Who knows? Storm dies, and then Colossus is like, no, and then he goes and kills himself ridiculously, and gets taken out shortly thereafter. It's pretty depressing. Anyway, we'll see how that movie turns out.
Anyway, Swagnito. Ciao.
So, we've done loads on comics. Loads of them. This is now also BAKA podcast. What
was that attempted a racial slur?
What What about that? This anime thing.
Animanga.
Animanga.
Because manga is basically Japanese comics. So I think that ties the room together. Don't you?
I've never heard it called that before. There we go.
What do you mean? It basically is, except without color, and you read it from right to left. Because
No, I mean I've never heard animanga before.
I said them as two separate words. I'll have you know.
Okay, but anyway. Yeah, you don't need to explain what it is. If you want to, go ahead. Just look up anime on Wikipedia. It's literally Japanese animation.
That's the murky part. I don't know how that ties.
It's very good. Some it's not. It's just like with any.
Some of it's Bleach, you know.
With any media you get, there's really good shows. There's some like downright stinker shows, but we're not here to like exploit the stinker shows. At least not quite yet.
Until Jack marathons Bleach. Which
and if we do say we don't like this show, we're going to have perfectly valid reasons for doing so.
Really? Now you've set me up for the fall.
Do I have any Bleach fans, please direct yourself to Jordan.
Now listen,
you can hate on him.
Call it. I like the first 30 episodes also. I feel like that takes me out of the hot water.
There are plenty of good shows. What's one of your favourite shows?
Really? You're gonna put me on the spot like that? What's one of your favourite shows then, mister?
I can tell you one of my most recent favourite shows.
Do tell.
Okay, well, I told you the other day, and you...
Is it Prince of Tennis? It's Prince of Tennis, isn't it?
No, it's not Prince of Tennis. It's Sword Art Online. It came out in like 2011, 2012, maybe?
Good fact checking.
Something like that. 2012, 2013. The anime, anyway. And it has like roughly the same a plot basis that quite a few other anime and other non-anime things do as well. Guy like puts on a virtual reality headset, or sometimes it's not virtual reality. Anyway, he gets trapped in an online game, and if you die in the game, you die in real life. The only other anime show I've ever watched that had the same sort of gimmick was Hack.Sign. I think it's Hack./Sign or whatever. I don't know. The Hack series. The Hack series is pretty good. I think it will probably get better as it goes on because it's very old. It came out, I think, late 90s. At least Sign did, I think. But the one thing that at least Legend of the Twilight suffers from is an absolutely insufferable protagonist who is a whiny butt and cannot get their head out of their own butt for like 5 seconds to stop wallowing in their own self-pity and stop being so, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm so afraid. Oh, you're talking to me? Oh no, I don't think I can talk back, I'm too agoo. That was the most annoying thing about that show, because of the protagonist, I never watched it. I never got past 3 episodes, 4, maybe 10, I don't know. The other thing that show suffered from was talking. All they did was talk in that show. Partly, I guess, due to the budget and maybe the quality of animation. All the animators at the time couldn't animate it super well enough to have a good fight. I don't know. Anyway, Sword Art Online does both those things really well. It tells the story great, it has really awesome protagonists, and it has phenomenal fight scenes. Because it came out very recently, the quality of animation is very, very good. The plot on it is, it makes sense, and it has reasons for stuff. For example, I don't want to spoil stuff so much, but the virtual reality headset they have, which is called a Nerve Gear, the reason you die when you die in the game down in real life, the reason of that is because it has like it'll send like a microwave thing into your brain from the electronic thing. So if you die or somebody tries to remove it forcefully, it will fry your brain. So there's like a good explanation. It's not just, well, I don't know, you might just die because of some neural thing. It goes into like sciencey detail. Instead of being like brain nodes and stuff, it's just, no, it fries you. Sip of water. How do I describe it? It's got a very good like psychological angle. How all the characters deal with the problem of all like situation of being trapped in this game. They don't clear it very fast at all. I'll tell you. I mean, it speeds up a little bit towards the end, at least the first series. But after like a couple of episodes, it's like they've been in there a year. It time skips, but it fully says it's like, well, people have been in here a year, and it's slowed down a bit because so many people have died. I can't remember how many people get trapped in it, but it's quite a few. A couple of thousand, I think, who were in the game for the first time, bought it on release. What else am I going to talk about that? It's just a good show. So many feels moments. When a character dies, you're actually like, no, because you know they're actually dead. Ain't no resurrection in this. you don't get resurrected. Sort
Do you
of.
actually say that though? Out loud? Did you actually ever say that? You actually ever go, no, because...
There were some manly tears sometimes, or at least almost manly tears.
You people and your emotions.
It was feels. It was pretty feels, man. Even if the character's only in there for like one episode, you're like, oh man, you're nice. You're gonna be okay. It's okay. Oh no! And then they die, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, it's the Lion King all over again. P.S. I never cried at the Lion King.
Yes. No, I've never. I can't remember watching it. Anyway, it's got really good story, really good characters, and yeah, the fight scenes in it are good. Talking mainly about the first series here, the second series is good. Animation's good in the second series. Some of the characters are still good. Plot is okay. Some of the plot's weird, and it just gets kind of, not want to say bad, but it's not nowhere near as good as the first season. So,
Wow, it's like Bleach.
The first season is like 1 to 12 episodes. Don't watch the second one, unless you want to find out what happens. Don't watch the second one. You don't need to. But yeah, in the first one, because there's like that threat of dying in every single battle, even the like non-protagonists, even if it's just like that guy in that helmet over there, they lose like one of their people, and they're like, no, because it's, apart from somebody dying, it's one man down. You got one less person to finish this fight for. So whenever they go to fight a boss and that, it's pretty high threat level. But the thing I really like about that as well is, due to like it being a game and all, you don't know what the boss is till you see it. So they send out like some scouting things sometimes. Sometimes the scouting things don't come back because there are traps in the game as well. Sometimes, with some like bosses, and I think most of them, you can like, the door will open and you can see into the room, and the boss is usually, at least for the lower level ones, it's there and you can see what it is, maybe get some information on it, and then run away again. Some of those ones that you can't. So you have to go into the room, and then the door will lock. And if the door locks, you can't get out unless you fight the boss and kill it. So you have like the main attack, like level clearing force who group together in big chunks every time they need to clear a level. There's like it's based in this fictional like flying sky castle. Each level of the sky castle is like a new land/world, and you clear it by finding the boss. Apart from so you have to find the boss as well. And every time they go into a fight, like boss-wise, they rely completely on their intel. If the intel is off, people will die because they're expecting it to do that. So like, I'm not going to spoil anything of it because while it would help my review kind of it, I don't like spoiling things anyway. But this is an anime that if you spoil something, you spoil it. You really need to experience it firsthand. Hint, hint, you down the other end of the microphone. Please,
Whoa, who's that?
please
on the
watch.
other end of the microphone?
I finally watched Tengen Toppa and Lagan on your good I can't words. On your good advice, I watched it. So please watch Sword Art Online. It's generally my friends recommend good anime to me.
Generally.
Which is why I take their advice. This is a good anime.
Like me.
Show.
The guy
Anyway.
who constantly detracts him from watching Bleach is a good person for it.
Thank you very much. So anyway, that's one of my favourite recent shows that I've watched. I know you've watched Kill la Kill recently.
Yes. Whilst you've been plugging yourself into virtual video games, I've been enlisting at Honnouji Academy.
From the creators of Gurren Lagann.
Well, not exactly.
Not exactly, no.
It's a studio called Trigger, which is made up of former members of Gainax, who made Gurren Lagann, Fooly Cooly, other stuff. Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of their oldest piece of work.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like lead character artist, and it shows because there are characters that could have dropped straight out of Gurren Lagann. Irreplaceable.
It's, from what I saw of it at least, you get the Gurren Lagann level. It's kind of like Gurren Lagann mixed with High School of the Dead. At least in like the candid fan servicey way. But it's pretty kind of like
screaming at each other,
that's
shouting people. 10 out of 10 would watch again.
Definitely, yeah. It's so good. So yeah, what do you think of it?
Well, I mean, I was mystified at first when I first I didn't know what to expect, and truly, after the first few episodes, I still didn't know what to expect. I was wondering why this new transfer student was in this academy/school where people wear uniforms that give them superpowers. And the higher suit your superpower is, the better accommodation in the academy you get. So the no-star people live in poverty down at the bottom of the city.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so Ryuko Matoy is the protagonist. She comes along. She's got a red scissor blade, half of a scissor, which obviously becomes more prominent a plot point later on. But at first, it's like, oh, there's this girl with a scissor blade. She goes in to find out who killed her dad. Seriously, it's in the song. It's one of those corniest lines I've ever heard in a song.
What is it?
When if you've heard the song "Before My Body Is Dry," right, which plays
Sort of.
sometimes when she powers up, sort of like her theme song, as it were. Yeah, there's a really cheesy line where the woman goes, "I gotta find out who killed my dad." It's like, yes, this is the worst, but it's the best.
I gotta find out who killed my dad. I hear the voice of you in my mind. I gotta find out who killed my dad.
Yeah, so she shows up to the school, and then she finds out that the school is under the prominent heel of God, I've forgotten her last name. Satsuki Keisa. I'll look it up. How could I forget? It's been like less than a week. See, I've even forgotten how to pronounce the name now. I'm going to say Satsuki Kiryu. That's what I'm going with. She leads the school by example through fear and all that, and control, and she has a group of 4 underlings called the Elite Four who are like the closest to her, and they're the ones that are sort of Ryuko's biggest obstacle to find out the truth, because she, after a couple of episodes in, she states that if she beats the Elite Four in a fight, and I think if she also beats her, she'll tell her the truth about what happened to her father.
Mm.
And then also she goes down into her dad's house's basement and finds a talking sailor uniform, which she aptly names Senketsu, who sort of becomes one of her closest friends. Her other close friend she met at school called Marco, who is the sort of ditzy loud girl of the series, but a close friend. And then Senketsu is kind of like her father figure. It was either made by her father, it was either made in her father's image. And yeah, when she puts that on and feeds it blood, it turns into a battle uniform, and it's the skimpiest uniform you can ever imagine.
Is that the red one?
Yep, it rivals Yoko levels of skimpiness.
The thing one of the things I like as well, at least I think this is the right way I'm saying this. The more powerful they get, or the more levelly up they get, the skimpier the outfit.
You see, I didn't actually notice that. So
Didn't you?
You
That
might
was like-
you might have been misinformed of that, because I don't think that actually happened.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure there's a serious progression.
If it is, it would be
less and
extremely
less.
subtle, because it was not outright obvious that her outfit was getting more and more skimpy.
Okay. They are.
Also, when she transforms and gets like the whole sort of winged armor thing near her neck thing, it totally looks like Gurren Lagann shades, especially because Senketsu's eyes are there. So yeah, as I said before, you can tell. You can kind of tell that the character designer for Gurren Lagann worked on the.
There's someone else.
Yeah, so lots of shameless fan service, especially when you've got a group called a Nudist Beach, whose leader, by day he is a bumbling, non-assuming school teacher with sunglasses and a lazy outlook, and by night, well, not by night, but when he removes his disguise, he feels the need to strip naked in front of Ryuko all the time and come on to her strongly, despite the fact that she's probably about a quarter of his age. But yeah, also his nipples glow pink.
That too. I already need to watch this show.
Yeah, you kind of do. I mean, it's like, it's very episode to episode dependent, and what I mean by that is, like, one episode you'll watch it and you'll be like, ugh, okay, that's whatever, and then the episode you'll be like, yeah, wow, that was a really good episode.
Yeah.
So it kind of ups and downs.
There's quite a few shows that have that. I think most shows really. There are very few things
even
on
Gurren
this.
Lagann kind of suffered from that.
A little bit, yeah. There are very few things on this planet that are good every single time.
Bleach! Oh wait, that's the complete opposite.
Everything suffers from it.
But yeah, good characters, shameless fan service. It comes on a bit too strong for my tastes. With your panty shot and your boob shots during the transformation sequence, and it's like it plays every time they reuse the same animation.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not such a fan of reusing animation when it's like that. I'm like, really, guys, this is Power Rangers.
Oh, but it is in so many ways.
As for just the fan service in general, I was expecting nothing else from it. It's like,
oh yeah, it goes places, quite dark places at times. Like, this series can get emotional. Some bad stuff happens along the way. It's not just perhaps arguably even darker than Gurren Lagann, which sometimes went down some dark paths.
Sometimes it was, it wasn't the darkest show ever. Because
you know,
mainly most of the time, whenever they were in a dark place, eventually somebody would go, "Come on, guys!"
and then
And
punch
I'm
them in the face, and then it's all over.
and then you grab somebody's head and drill, and it's great. Um, if you, public service announcement: if you've never watched Gurren Lagann, quit this podcast.
You
go
haven't
watch it
lived.
right now.
You haven't lived, you
Yeah,
fools! What are you
Forget
doing?
us and just go, my child.
You have not seen perfection.
Become a man.
Believe in the podcast that believes in you to watch that show. Also, lots of nakedness, although not actually, drawn parts, if you will, but, every time someone gets defeated, there's pretty much their uniform gets cut off, and they're naked.
Yep.
And for a show with the word kill twice in its title, there's a whole lot of, not killing, because pretty much any time she defeats someone, she doesn't kill them, she just cuts off their uniform and they end up naked, and that's it. You might see them again, you might not, either way. That's how it goes. So yeah, don't think I'm going to go too intricate into plot details, but I enjoyed it for what it's worth.
Good.
Sort of.
So that's
Soundtrack's pretty good as well.
We've covered new stuff. Oh yeah, soundtrack for Sword Art Online is bombing as well.
Yeah,
Two good
soundtracks, the best.
This is our new stuff. Take it, learn from it, don't learn from it. It's whatever. I hope you enjoyed that. Do you want to go on
A rant?
we can talk about. Let's take 10 minutes, just talk about whatever, and then maybe we can wrap stuff up.
Well, I don't need 10 minutes to talk about how much Son of Batman sucked. Worse than Bleach.
Do tell.
There, Fisher. I don't even want to tell.
Okay.
Oh, it was so dull and uneventful and just blah. Please.
Oh boy.
It was bad. I mean, I guess I could sum a summation of my reasons why I don't like it.
Yeah, go for it.
Number one, Deathstroke's portrayal was lame. Feels like he's been getting that a lot lately. I mean, his portrayal in Arkham Origins wasn't that bad, but he still lost to Batman, and that shouldn't happen so easily. And believe me, it happens really easily in this movie. I think he put this up about a 10-second fight with Batman, and I realised that the focus of the movie is meant to be on Damian and not Batman, but still, they had to start a fight, and he's all like, I'm gonna run away because I'm clearly no match for you. Oh wait, I'm a super soldier. I should be doing you in. I also use guns, unlike you, and a sword as well. Reason number two. Reason number two. There you go. See, I can't even fathom why I don't like it. That's how much I don't like it. Yeah, maybe it doesn't help that it's come off the back of Flashpoint Paradox and Justice League War, which were two great DC animated films. It has a tough act to follow, and so it just flops out the start line, falls over its own shoelaces. Because it's not very interesting. The fight scenes aren't interesting. The plot isn't interesting. Deathstroke's portrayal isn't interesting. Like, why is he Ra's al Ghul? And yes, that's what I'm calling him from now on, because I found out that pretty much the only time he's ever called Ra's al Ghul is in the Nolan trilogy, so I'm more comfortable calling him Ra's al Ghul.
Fair enough. Call him whatever you like.
I'll call him Betsy Boo for all I care.
I like it.
Yeah, he's like Ra's al Ghul's right-hand man, but then Ra's wasn't going to pick him to be a successor, so he goes and kills Ra's at the headquarters of the League of Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's a whole subplot about turning ninjas into Man-Bat clones. Because why?
Why you want to? Because Man-Bat's pretty scrub. Then again, if it's like a dark story, you can always have like good Man-Bat where it like rips out people's throats and stuff.
Yes, but yeah, well, I don't know why Ra's al Ghul wanted a clone of Man-Bats, and then Deathstroke takes over his plan to make a clone of Man-Bat.
Okay.
It's basically an excuse plot, and it's bad even for that. And I mean, Nightwing's in it. Yay, Nightwing. Thumbs up.
Did he break his neck on a rock? I'll never get over that.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Never forget, never surrender.
I think that all you want to say on that topic, by the way.
Yeah, the sooner I have to stop talking about Son of Batman, the better.
Okay. Well, seeing as like there have been no Cox and Crendor podcasts for like years and years. Do you know about Florida Man?
Excuse me, are you plugging other podcasts?
No, I'm not. I'm not
On
plugging
our
them.
podcast?
I'm like, I just it's Florida Man's a funny thing. Okay. And I've got a couple of things that Florida Man's been up to. There's like a Twitter for him. Would you like to see some of the Florida Man headlines?
Does this have anything to do with comic books and or anime slash manga?
Of course not. This is just this was the 10 minutes to talk about anything.
I just did talk about something, and guess what? It was related to comic books.
Well,
I did not
I'm
give you
talking
permission.
about Florida Man.
No.
Give me this one. That side's just like, I don't know why I get this guy on the show.
Because no one else likes comic books or anime. Well, that's probably a bit of a stretch, but
Everyone likes Florida Man.
no one on my Skype list I can voluntarily call up and say, you want to talk about dumb stuff?
Come on, man.
They're all so serious.
There's such great headlines as Florida Man catches world record sized shark. Not awarded world record because he ate it. Florida Man's upset because his arrest spoiled Easter for his kids. Florida Man robs body from grave, preserves it, and lives with it. You can't write this stuff. It's amazing.
I'm pretty sure someone did write that. That's the whole point.
Well, all right then. Meanwhile,
At Skeleton Man.
that Skeleton Man.
There's a man who I believe in.
Oh, I don't have any other relevant things to talk about, I don't think.
Bleach.
Well, if that's that.
If you ever do end up doing that, you're basically being like Bilbo from The Hobbit.
What?
And I'll have to be your Gandalf and be like, if you do, you will not be the same.
What are you talking about?
If you ever try and watch Bleach.
If I what?
If you ever try and watch Bleach.
Oh.
God forbid you do.
Ooh.
This podcast is secretly to enunciate my anti-Bleach agenda.
Yes. Well, we'll get onto that next podcast, perhaps.
No, we won't. Because hopefully you still would have not have watched it by then.
Well,
we'll be
no,
safe.
but you can say why you don't like it. I don't know. Anyway, next time, I have no idea what will happen at all. Because we do this thing as we go, I don't know what's coming out.
Exactly.
Or will have been announced in the next.
For all we know, anime could be banned for being way too
Exactly.
explicit, and comic books could have been burned off the shelf because
Who knows?
none of the
Kevin
characters ever
Bacon is
died.
Captain America. Like,
And finally, we get that Nicolas Cage Superman film we've all been waiting for.
exactly.
Man of Steel 3, starring Nicolas Cage.
So until next time, be Nicolas Cage.
Bleach sucks.
Thanks for that, John. Goodbye.
Ooh, Bleach ruined my life.